It was nighttime and Ron was watching TV in the living room. His mother got up from the sofa to go to sleep and asked him to not stay up too late. The next day there was no school and he didn't have to get up early, so he could stay up a little longer. He was watching a series when he suddenly noticed that there was a box on top of the DVD player. He walked over and saw that it was the one from Monsters Inc. When he opened it, he was surprised because someone had written with a red permanent marker the phrase, "We'll come for you when you sleep." Ron was angry. Surely it had been a prank of his cousins and they had damaged the disc. So he decided to play it to check if it was okay. When the movie started, he saw that the introduction was different. It was one of his favorite animations and he had watched it countless times, so he knew it wasn't the original movie. Intrigued, he stayed to see it. The animation began with the image of a child sleeping in his room. Soon, Sully came in to scare him with a roar. The child woke up and screamed exaggerately. Everything seemed normal until suddenly, Sully began to dismember the boy with his claws, leaving his body in pieces. In the next scene, Sully and Mike were talking about first place as professional scarers. They didn't want anyone to take their position away from them, least of all Randall, so Sully insisted his friend increase the number of scares. When it was time to work, Mike, knowing that his partner would do anything to win, obeyed and desperately tried to get many doors. With the nerves, there was a failure in the machinery and the doors didn't come. Their position went down the scale of frightening while the other workers continued to frighten. Sully would get so mad he'd grab Mike, drag him away from everyone else's eyes, and gouge out his big eye. Mike couldn't stop screaming, but Sully, far from stopping, was still pissed off and put him in the shredder. The bones of his faithful companion creaked until they got rid while he launched his last cries of agony. At that moment, Randall appeared behind him and threatened to give him away. However, Sully wasn't intimidated and challenged him with an end equal to Mike's if he were to accuse him. Randall would laugh and turn his back on him. Then, Sully would violently grab him and rip his head off using only his hands. In the next scene, it was at night. Sully was sneaking into the scary room and several doors were in front of him. He wanted to increase his screaming level. He entered the first door where there were two twin boys sleeping. He grabbed one of them, hooked him to the ceiling fan, and then turned it on. The boy began to turn violently, slashing parts of his body. The other minor couldn't stop screaming, seeing his brother's trunk being dismembered and splattering pieces of body and blood everywhere in the room. The level of screaming was enormous. Sully was breaking his own record. When he left the room, he headed for the next door. Ron jumped on the sofa. That door was identical to the one in his room. The screen went black and the young man began to feel footsteps on the upper floor. He closed his eyes tightly. He was sure that this could only be a nightmare. When he reopened them, it could not be true. In front of him was Sully with empty eye sockets and a disturbing smile. Ron wanted to run to his mother's room, but the monster grabbed his foot and lifted him into the air. The young man hung upside down, his face facing the blue creature, and he said to him, "All your nightmares have kept us alive for years. Now we have the doors to reach you also in the real world." If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.